I want to welcome you all today. My name is Joanna Salinas. I am the Outreach Coordinator with the Waukesha County Green Team. For those of you who are new to us, we are a volunteer-based 501c3 nonprofit that's focused on promoting environmental sustainability in Waukesha County communities. And we do that through education, collaboration, and local action, working with schools, residents, organizations, and local municipalities. So we're really excited to gather all of you here this afternoon, along with the Midwest Renewable Energy Association, Heart of the City, and the City of Milwaukee's Environmental Collaboration Office to learn about the 2026 Grow Solar Milwaukee Waukesha Solar Group I program, and to really talk about how partnering with this program can benefit your municipality and the broader community. So the Grow Solar Group I program is designed to help homeowners and small businesses cut down on energy costs by offering discounted solar panel installations. But really, the heart of this program is the education that comes along on the process, the pricing, and incentives available. With energy bills and scams on the rise, switching to solar through the Grow Solar program can be a really smart and safe way to embrace clean energy while saving money in the long run. So for today's webinar, this is a regular Zoom meeting, so we're going to ask that you stay muted and off camera, and that way you won't be recorded. And any questions you have as they come up, feel free to type them right into the chat. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll have some time for questions and answers. So today we're really excited to welcome Yvonne, Corey, and Jeff from the Midwest Renewable Energy Association. I think Brent from Full Spectrum Solar will be here with us today, along with Frankie Fuller from Heart of the City. And we have Jeremy. Jeremy, I never know how to say your last name, so I'll let you say it, from the City of Milwaukee's Environmental Collaboration Office. So I think to kick us off, Jeremy, how about you start and talk to us about the City of Milwaukee's ECO office's history with the program and why it's important to you.
Thank you, Joanna. As mentioned, I'm Jeremy B. Lott. It's pretty easy. Sometimes I feel like, people want to make it as silent T or go to Beloit, but no, it's Jeremy B. Lott. I'm with the Environmental Collaboration Office at the City of Milwaukee. And the City of Milwaukee and the Midwest Renewable Energy Association have been working together since 2013 to bring the Grow Solar Group Buy program to neighborhoods across the city. Through the years, the program has now expanded into the greater metro area and added partners like Waukesha County Green Team. Um, the Grow Solar program is essentially an opportunity for those that are interested in installing solar to learn about how solar in general and then the Grow Solar program works. It gives them opportunity to receive a solar assessment and a cost estimate without any pressure to purchase from a reputable, vetted installer. And I think that's really like the big part of the program. I think we just hear more and more about shady contractors. And so that this program provides a safe, no pressure opportunity to see if an investment in solar can work. And this is available to residents, nonprofits, small businesses, and houses of worship. They can all sign up to learn about the program and how solar works through solar power hours. And that the presentation that you're about to see will show you about what happens with how the solar power hours work and about how this program can help your constituents, your residents, just get more information and learn if solar is right for them. Because I think we all hear about, people from the community wanting to install solar, but maybe they need to know a little bit more about how to do it. So this is a great program for that. So thank you. And I'll sign off.
And with that, we would love to hand it off to the Midwest Renewable Energy Association. So Yvonne, Jeff, and Corey, why don't you take it away?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yvonne Waugh. I'm a solar program manager with Midwest Renew, and we're happy to be here with you this afternoon to share information about the program. I will give a minute to have my teammates introduce themselves briefly before we start on our slides. Jeff?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Schneider. I'm partnering with Yvonne and Corey on the Grow Solar team. I'm primarily working on outreach and promotion for the program. Corey?
All right, thank you everyone for being here. My name's Corey Zeman. I'm a solar program coordinator with the MREA. So yeah, excited to talk to you all today.
Okay, great. We're going to get started then. Our slide presentation explains the program fairly thoroughly, but as Joanna mentioned, there'll be an opportunity to ask questions in the chat and hopefully get all the information to you that you need about the program. So the Grow Solar Milwaukee and Waukesha program, the intention of the program is to provide solar education. A strong component of this program is that consumer protection piece. As Joanna mentioned, and Jeremy as well, there are some nefarious actors in the industry, and consumer protection has been really a key component of the program since its start. The program really did originate in Milwaukee, actually in 2013, and since then it's amazing to think that Grow Solar has had over 70 programs during those following years, 8 previous programs in Milwaukee, 3 in Jefferson and Waukesha counties. Considering that over 3 megawatts of solar capacity has been added across all program territories, it's pretty impressive that we've been able to provide this consumer education piece and group buying program to make solar affordable to so many people. Next slide, please. And why grow solar? As I mentioned, that consumer protection piece, the vetting process involved in the program selects solar installers that are typically local, responsive installers that have a strong reputation in the industry for quality workmanship and good customer service response time. Applying installers applying for the program must detail their plan for operation and maintenance of all systems they install. The RFP process is very thorough. There are no hard sells. The Grow Solar installers are required to adhere to best practices in the industry regarding system size and orientation, and will not recommend a system if a customer's home is not appropriately situated or is not ready for solar in terms of the roofing or other situations in terms of structural support for solar system. History and experience, Midwest Renewable Energy Association has been at the forefront of clean energy adoption since the 1990s. So 30 years, going on 30 years, has connections to hundreds of companies across the Midwest and has a very strong reputation in the renewable energy space. As an advocate for both consumers and for renewable energy, MREA is positioned to act as a trusted third party, delivering that education component and an opportunity to purchase a solar system in group buying at an already below market rate, and being in a position to do that in an unbiased manner that focuses again on the resident, on the homeowner. So we are very pleased to be able to provide this information and this program again this year. And at next slide, Corey is going to talk to you and explain exactly how the group buy works.
Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. So yeah, I'm going to break down a little bit as to how we save consumers money with our program. So the idea is that we're doing a bulk purchase. So we're trying to get as many folks as possible together so that we can unlock those bulk purchase savings. So on the right side of the screen here, we have a table which is the price breaks for this program. So say we sign up 7 to 10 homes, we'll already be getting a base price that is below the market rate of what our installer would normally be charging. As a part of the RFP process, we ask for this. This is required so that, in the worst case scenario where we don't get many people signed up for the program, the participants will still be saving money. However, I well expect that we'll be hitting these benchmarks in this program area. So if we hit 50 to 150 kilowatts, we'll be unlocking a 2 cent per watt discount, which is about $20 a kilowatt. And then it goes up from there. So if we hit 150 kilowatts, it'll be 3 cents. 250, it would be 4 cents. And then in this program, Full Spectrum Solar actually bid for, if we hit 350, there'll be an 8 cent per watt price break. So the way this works is that, throughout the summer, we'll host the solar power hours, which are our educational events where people can learn about solar. They can learn about the considerations that they should think about if they're going to put it on their home. And then we'll give sample pricing at these events. And then if they sign up, their kilowatts will count towards the total. And at the end of the program, we'll see how many kilowatts we signed up, and a rebate check will go out once all systems are installed. So on top of the focus on energy rebate that's available this year, folks will get a check at the end of our program to further reduce the cost of their solar. And I am going to jump to the next slide, and I think this is, Jeff, you were going to take this one.
Certainly. Yeah, thank you for starting things off, Corey and Yvonne. And yeah, so Corey just walked you through sort of how the program saves folks money, but I'm here to sort of tell you a little bit about how the timeline works. It's pretty well laid out on this slide. And as you can see, we are in the sort of the program launch period, and we're at late April, which is rapidly here. We're in the middle of April. So we're hoping to launch, plan to launch in the next week or so. And then we will enter sort of our open period for the program, which I would say, is end of April through generally the end of September. So during that time, the sign-up form will be open. Our installer partners will be actively providing site assessments for interested residents, and we'll be hosting those solar power hour presentations that we mentioned across the service area, Milwaukee, Waukesha Counties, and also virtually. So those will all be happening sort of throughout the summer. We generally stop offering our presentations, in late summer because we don't want anyone hearing about the program right before the deadline. And then we do have a deadline for signups at the end of September. We do have to limit the program because, we're offering a below market rate, and we can't expect, any installer to always offer their wares on sale. So we do have to limit it in time so it drives some urgency and drives people to sign up while it's open. So, and as you can see near the bottom, solar installations will be happening on a rolling basis. If you sign up on the very first day of the program and you get a site assessment by May, you may well be installed by perhaps June. And, and it will be going for a rolling basis after that. If you sign up near the end of the program, you'll obviously be installed after the public participation deadline is closed, but our installer will still have until February, the end of February of next year to finish those projects. So, and the last step on the very far right of the chart here is the rebates being sent. Once they've, our installers completed those installations, has payment, they're able to send those rebate checks out to everyone in the program. So not only are you paying a lower upfront cost, at the beginning of the program, you also can look forward to that rebate check coming back next spring. So that's generally how our programs work out. I think I'll jump to the next slide.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to pick it back up here. So these are just a few of our previous program partners for this program. You can see we like to collaborate not only with municipalities, but with community associations, other nonprofits, just so that we are hitting as wide of an audience as possible. So I'm going to walk through a little bit what it would look like should you decide to partner with us. If you want to partner with us, this is what you can expect. So the best thing that our partners can do is help us spread the word. The way this program works is that the more folks sign up and get solar, the more people will be saving. So actively promoting the program on city communication channels. This could be your website, if you have social media presence, any newsletters that go out, a mention of the program or a link to the sign up form is very helpful. I believe in the next few slides, Jeff has some examples that we're going to look at of what that could look like. Additionally, approval of logo for our website is very helpful. So much like this slide you saw previously at the beginning of our power hours, we'll have a slide detailing all of our local government partners and nonprofit partners. And on our website, we have a carousel that says supported by, and approving your logo for usage on those materials is very helpful to us because it lends some credibility to the program. Additionally, if your logo is out there or you're sharing the program, you may receive some questions from residents about the program. So preparing your staff to answer these questions if you get a phone call asking, is this real? Hopefully you could train your staff to say, yes, this is real. Our city is partnering with the Midwest Renewable Energy Association on this effort. And we do have a short document that has some quick, frequently asked questions that should your staff receive them, they'll be able to answer any questions that come in about the program. And then finally, if your community would like a solar power hour, if you could help us land a location for that, that would be great. Typically, we host them in municipal spaces. So this can be a city hall. We've hosted them in police stations, libraries, or if there's somewhere more exciting that you think people would be drawn to, we also host our solar power hours in event spaces like breweries and things like that. Additionally, if that's a heavy lift, you can co-host a virtual power hour. So we would co-brand the materials around the virtual power hour with your logo. We would give you material to post, such as captions and things like that. And should you want, your city or organization would be able to speak at the solar power hour at the beginning for a couple of minutes to talk about why you're supporting the program, as well as any other programs that you have going on that you think our audience would be interested in hearing about. And most importantly, there is no cost associated with this. So this is free to join on. All it would take is some staff time. There's no monetary cost to joining on as a partner. On our end, we will create all the communication materials for you. So I think Jeff will dive into that a little bit deeper in the next slide, but we'll create a media kit for you that you can use that includes graphics. It'll have our logo, captions for social media, things like that. We also provide the website that has resources on it. Our program schedule lives on there. People can register on our website. We organized a selection of the qualified solar installer, which is already done. So we have full spectrum on, which we're going to hear from later. But we do that through an advisory committee. Since the MREA is a nonprofit that has business members, we recuse ourselves. So we create an independent local advisory committee to select our installer. We will monitor our installer via biweekly meetings. Right now we're meeting weekly as we're setting up the program, but as the program goes on, we'll have biweekly check-ins with our installer to make sure that everything is going well. I don't expect any problems with full spectrum, but that's why we're here. We're the backstop. If someone says, hey, I didn't hear back, I can ask Brent in the meeting, hey, you should call Joe. So that's what our meetings are for. We'll also try to solicit partnership with other local organizations. We'll plan those in-person events, and then we'll provide some paid marketing for the program and events as well. So that was a long slide, but I think next up is marketing, which is Jeff's world. So Jeff, take it away.
Yeah, good segue there. We are going to be providing marketing materials. So we like to provide our partners with everything they need to make it a really light lift, because we know every municipality organization has a different capacity for communications. Some folks might want to write all the materials themselves and own every bit of the messaging. And if that's what you want, we're here to help. Some folks might be like, we're got a lot of work to do, and if you could create a post and a caption for us, we would post it. We can certainly do that as well. So I have some options, some screenshots, sort of looking what some of our materials look like on here. We primarily focus on physical and digital marketing. So on physical, we provide flyers and handbills. You can sort of see if one version of one of our flyers is actually embedded on one of these web pages, but we can provide those as something that we can put up in locations. So if your municipality has a couple spots where there are lots of bulletin boards where people promote local events, we like to have a presence on those. And additionally, we like to have handbills. So if your organization or your municipality has a table at an event or something like that, this is an option that people can pick these up and learn about when our events are and get directed to our website to learn more. So we like to offer those to our partners to be used if they find them helpful. And additionally, we find a lot of partners enjoy using our digital assets. So what that will look like would, of course, be a version of our press release that's going out. Obviously, social media promotions, as you'll see in the top right corner, there's sort of a example of, as you can see, the Waukesha County Green Team, one of our partners here that organized this. This is last year. They shared a post that we made. So we'll make them and we'll post them on our page, and you can share them if that's easy for you. Additionally, we'll send posts similar to that, about events in our program to our partners every month. And if you have a social media person who'd like to schedule one or two on your own, we'd love for you to post them yourself. Whatever is easiest for your communications department and what makes sense for your communications workflow. Additionally, we get a lot of signups through our email list. We've been doing this program for, I think it's 9 or around 8 or 9 previous rounds, I think, and a couple in Jefferson and Waukesha at the same time. So we have a pretty robust list of previous participants from many, many years. So we like to announce, give them an update every month on how the program's going. And we often see, some previous people who were interested sign up, through reaching out to them again via our email updates. We do like to work with our partners on these as well. So if you are organizational representative or you work for a municipality and you send out any kind of newsletter, we like to collaborate with you guys to make sure that we can provide a little paragraph or blurb for that kind of email or newsletter. Another important one on here is website copy, and I actually have a screenshot on here from the Milwaukee Eco office. Thank you, Jeremy, for being our representative on our team for that partner. And as you can see, they have included a bit of a previous post flyer on their webpage, and then they additionally under that they have more paragraphs about resources about the program. So that's actually one of the most important asks that we have of our partners when it comes to marketing, having some mention of Grow Solar on your organizational or municipal website. That way it's, people look up, hey, is Milwaukee actually working with this program? They look up Grow Solar, Milwaukee, Waukesha, and sure enough, on the official page, there's a reference to the Grow Solar program, and that can really be really important for us. So if you're thinking about partnering and you have a good relationship with whomever manages your municipal website, even just a quick paragraph entitled Grow Solar, Milwaukee, Waukesha, and 2 or 3 sentences can be enough to really make a big difference in showing our program is a real locally rooted program and not something that's in the world of solar scams. So that's a really important ask that we have here. We also are planning to send some direct mailings out, for the program. On the bottom right, you can see a little bit of a version of a postcard that we sent in a pilot direct mailer for a previous program. It would look a little different for this program, but we'd like to send out, 2 mailings. We'll work with our team to decide on, where those go to. It's not going to be everyone in our territories because we don't have the promotional funding for that level of mailing, but it will be to some strategic local communities in our area. So we make sure we're getting in front of the right people. So we're really excited about that opportunity as well. But as to wrap things up on this slide, we like to create a lot of materials for you folks, but it is often, on our partners to, actually post these things, actually include them. And when our partners actually, share our posts and include us in our newsletters, we often see a lot of uptake in these communities. So we're really hoping that this sounds like something that's doable for you folks. Move on to the next slide. I think this one actually is going to be switching gears from marketing to introducing you guys to our installer for this year. We have worked with some great installers for this program in both Jefferson and Waukesha counties and in Milwaukee County, and we're thrilled to have Full Spectrum Solar selected this time. So I'll briefly hand over to Brent, our representative for Full Spectrum, to talk about this company and what they're looking forward to about being a part of the group buy. Brent.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. So my name is Brent. I am a project manager at Full Spectrum Solar. So if someone reaches out to us and says, I'm interested in solar, I am one of the project managers who would come out, look at their site, and put together a quote for them. So we are excited to do the group buy with the MREA and partners this year. We have done over 10 group buys. We have been in business in Wisconsin since 2002, so we are a very well-established company, which they've shared that they're looking for a company that's going to represent solar well as do very high-quality work for kind of the people of the area. So we also have a service department and support systems throughout their lifetime. One thing with the storms that came through last night, downtown Madison got hit by almost baseball-sized hail, and we've gotten over 30 calls from systems damaged. We already have project managers out with drones, assessing sites, taking care of our customers. So I think kind of that dedication to our customers is something that the MRE looks for, and I think is something that people feel more comfortable promoting to their citizens or kind of members of groups. And kind of, I guess that is something that I thought would be interesting to share, as well as we like the group buy model with the MREA and local organizations vouching that we are a reputable company, and as well as in a neighborhood, if one person installs solar, people see that house solar was installed there. And like Corey said, the more people that participate, the greater the savings. So that's a really good model to really get solar installed in the area.
Right. Thank you, Brent. And I think this is going to be the slide where we land. So this is just a quote from someone that we worked with down in Illinois, one of our previous partners for the city of Urbana. So I think we can just land here and open it up to questions. Joanna, if you had anything to add about our program that we didn't cover, happy to hear that. Otherwise, I'll have to take a look at the chat to see if we got questions. So
Yeah, I'll just share really quick my perspective, actually, as the homeowner who's gone through this program. And I'll just say, if you have questions, this is the great time to drop them in the chat, so feel free. So not only was I familiar with this program because of the Waukesha County Green Team's work, partnering on it. But in 2022, I installed solar on my home as a participant in the Grow Solar program. And I will tell you that the peace of mind I had going through the process of installing solar through this program was invaluable to me. My husband was a bit of a solar skeptic, I will say, and having him be able to go to, it's basically an hour-long class. The process of going solar was really helpful. And then the reason we chose to do it then is because we had significant hail damage to our home, and we had to put all new siding and a roof on, and decided it was a great time to put solar on. But as we know, and what we're expecting, especially after the weather events this week, is that there's going to be an influx of out-of-state companies and these kind of fly-by-night roofing companies coming in. And we, all of us, I got several alerts from my municipality about, incidents of these companies coming in. And now we're seeing solar companies come on the heels of the roofing companies. And when we have weather damage, which I think there's a question in the chat that we'll talk about a little bit, it's really important to have a local company that is going to be around to service those panels. When these out-of-state companies come in, install, and disappear, there's nobody there to help you through that process. And solar panels last, 25, 30 years. So with that, I'll pass it back to, to talk a little bit about some of these questions. So we had one can you share a little more about how the cost will be covered in the event of weather damage? So I don't know who on our panel wants to pick that one up.
I can pick that up. So it is common when there is weather damage. Solar panels are very robust. They are rated for 1-inch hail at 60 miles per hour. So it is rare for solar panels to be damaged by hail, but when you look at like baseball size hail, that will definitely damage, just like it'll break windows, it'll destroy cars. But I got about 1-inch hail at my house last night, and all of my solar panels I checked. One nice thing is you have monitoring on your phone, and you can see how much each solar panel is producing. And I looked, and all of my solar panels are working perfectly fine. But it is common for people to see that their roof is damaged. They have a roofer come out. The roofer says that the roof needs to be replaced, and insurance has covered that. And then if the solar system needs to be removed for the roof to be redone and then reinstalled, insurance pays for that, is what we have seen, as well as if solar panels are damaged by hail, your property insurance does cover that.
All right. And then Corey or Jeff or Yvonne, can one of you address how many counties are included in this particular Grow Solar program?
Mhm. Yeah, so our main outreach will be focused on Milwaukee and Waukesha County. However, in the RFP that we put out, we did note that the program will be open to folks in Ozaukee and Washington as well as Jefferson County. So we likely will have, our main focus will be the inner two counties, but people in the outlying counties can sign up for the program as well.
All right. And are there any subsidies for families below that 60% area median income for Milwaukee County for families that may be interested in solar programs but may not have the financial resources to consider these programs? And actually, this question also is a great segue into talking about any additional subsidies that are out there right now.
Okay, and I can share that. So there is, in Wisconsin, Focus on Energy is administering the HEAR program. It's HEAR. So that is a electrification program from the Inflation Reduction Act. And for people that are 80% of the area median income or lower, they can have 100% of costs for electrification covered by the program. There are limits for a solar installation. The limit is $2,500. But for people that are below 80% of the area median income, they can get that full $2,500 as an incentive. There is another tier of covering 50% of the cost of electrification projects, and that is for anyone that is 150% of the area median income or lower. So these are great at kind of targeting and making solar more affordable. There is also the Wisconsin Focus on Energy incentive. So between those two incentives, you're looking at close to $5,000 off a solar installation, which is very sizable.
All right, thank you, Brent. And then as individuals sign up.
Could I just mention also one
Oh,
thing
sure.
in regards to the fact that there's also a loan program that a long-standing loan that the city of Milwaukee and Summit Credit Union have offered to Milwaukee residents. So at this point, the loan is for Milwaukee residents only, but it is essentially accessible loan where if someone would like to finance the cost of all or part of the installation of the solar, they can receive up to a $25,000 loan from Summit Credit Union, and it's a very accessible loan. So a lower credit rating, you can finance up to 100% of the system as well. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, and I wanted to chime in too. So there are federal tax credits still available for commercial properties. So not residential, but to the extent that this program covers houses of worship and businesses, there's a up to a 30% federal tax credit for projects that are fully installed by the end of 2027.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, we were remiss in sharing that in our presentation. So, and then we had another question in the chat here. As individuals sign up, is there a waiting period for installation as we're waiting for more people to sign on to get that discount?
Yeah, I can take this one if that's all
Yeah.
right. I will say sometimes folks will wait towards till that they know like we've hit some benchmarks at the end of the program. But typically there's not a waiting period. So you sign up, you get that site assessment, you can get your solar installed right away while the program is running. That's why we ask for that that below market rate as the base price. So a lot of the savings are realized there. And then the rebate check would come likely at the end of February. So we do see usually at the end of the program, like Jeff will put out our, program closing. It's the last week to sign up in order to get a site assessment in time for you to sign on the dotted line to get that system. We usually see an influx then because people like to wait to see what benchmark we hit. But typically, we'll hit those benchmarks as the program rolls on. Usually it's there's not a waiting period. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yes, everything will be just working on a rolling basis. And when we send out proposals, like let's say in June, someone reaches out to us, we'll send them a proposal and we can tell them in the email that we're at 100 kilowatts for the program. You're getting at least a 2 cent per watt discount. If someone gets a proposal in July or August, then we might say we hit 200 kilowatts, you're getting 4 cents per kilowatt off. So we will be providing that information, and between us and the group buy, we will be letting people know when the deadline, kind of the last minute that they can sign up for an installation and what the benefit of the volume pricing will be.
Excellent. Thank you, Brent. Are there any additional questions? Okay. So, Jeff, I'll take it to you. If one of our folks here would say, yes, we would love to partner on the Grow Solar program, what is their next step?
Well, that's a great question. Well, I think the next step would probably be reaching out to one of us. And, I'm remiss in that the last slide should really be a contact us here slide with some email addresses in there, but I will go ahead and put them in the chat right now because Corey and Yvonne and I are pretty easy to reach because we have pretty simple email addresses. So the main person I would perhaps have you go to actually is Mr. Corey Zeman, who you just heard from over there. He sort of is our lead person on partnerships and, getting new, partners in and perhaps collaborating with them on events. So I think Corey would be your first stop there, Corey at MidwestRenew.org. But I guess what it would look like is you would reach out to Corey. He could ask you, if you want to be a promotional partner, and if you say yes, then we'll be sharing some of those promotional materials like I was showing you some examples of in a previous slide. And I guess one more little detail, which I'm glad you gave me the chance to share, is that we'll be sharing for those who would like to be promotional partners. If you would like, we'll be sharing at the beginning of each month an email with several posts, some captions and this materials to make it really easy to promote the program. So I think this is the simplest level of partnership would be reaching out to Corey, sharing your logo, and then we will share back into some promotional materials and get you in our system. If you are feeling really excited about offering this in your community, maybe you want to partner with us for one of our events, one of our Power Hour events that we have co-hosts for, especially some of those virtual ones. If you'd like to, get your logo on there and share your organization or your municipality's message, we would certainly, Corey would be a great first stop for that conversation as well. He'd love to get you plugged in there. Anything
Yeah,
else
and
on that, Corey?
I will note, if you need like an agreement, like a something that, you know, your city council wants to look at, or the mayor's office wants to sign, or something like that, we have example ones that I can send you and we can update for your needs. So we do a lot of handshake supporter agreements, but if you need something in writing, I can provide that as well. So
Mhm. And I will say that I will be following up with everyone who is attending with this recording, and as well as that contact info within the next day or two. And if you're one of our Waukesha County folks and you want to have further conversation about what partnering has looked like, I am happy to have conversation at any point, or come to a common council meeting, or any support that you could use in that. So,
And any city of Milwaukee representatives, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, or like me to do any connecting with MREA.
Any other questions from our attendees today?
Well, we just want to thank Joanna
yeah,
for organizing this. Very grateful for assisting, as well as Jeremy, getting the word out about the program. We've found that it does tend to snowball each year, as folks will come to a power hour and maybe not be ready to go solar, but then the following year are looking to see if the program is offered again, because they're ready to make that next step. So we're very appreciative of the efforts of getting the word out about the program, because it does help a lot of people make an informed decision about going solar. The power hours are that 1 hour education piece that really help provide that deep dive, so that folks know what's involved in going solar, as Joanna shared. It's a class, a mini class. So
mhm.
helpful to people to be aware of that, and we'll be posting as part of our media kits, announcing where those classes are, where those events are. So again, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, folks. Have a good day.